90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days showed Daniel's real interest in Lisa, and it's kind of bumming me out. Warning! The following contains spoilers for the 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days episode, Initial Descent. Stream it with an HBO Max subscription and read at your own risk. I'm desperately trying to find the joy in Season 8 of 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, but every storyline keeps letting me down. We have Forrest Atwood Mackenzie and Sheena potentially lying about their storyline, and Rick Van Vactor criticizing Trish's potential as a future wife while hiding that he cheated on her. With the former not on the episode this week and Rick finally confessing, I turned my attention to Lisa and Daniel. I hoped I'd find some happiness with them in this latest episode, but it only made me sad. We're now a few episodes into Lisa's visit to Nigeria, which started with Daniel greeting her with a parade and a marriage proposal. Now that she's secured the ring and his uncle's approval, she's still in need of assurance that her decade-plus younger fiancé truly loves her. The latest episode saw her go to his friends for confirmation, and I'm not sure she got the answer she wanted. 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, opened Lisa's segment with an attempt to ditch the wig that she'd been wearing ever since she landed in Nigeria. When she appeared in front of Daniel with her natural short hair, he told her she must put the wig back on because she looked old. Comment clearly hurt Lisa, who had previously feared that Daniel wouldn't accept her natural appearance. Lisa put the wig on, however, and met Daniel's friends and grilled them in an attempt to find out if he really loved her. She had her doubts after being contacted by a woman who said he tried to woo her over the internet and seemed to be in search for an American woman to marry. Daniel and his buddies brushed off Lisa's story and said she had nothing to worry about. Why? Well, why would he want to mess up the situation he's currently in, where he has a woman supporting him financially? Lisa wanted confirmation that the man she was marrying truly loved her, and it seemed the answer was, as long as you continue to provide. I can't help but hurt for her, especially since she doesn't seem to be at a point where she's willing to walk away from Daniel even after all that. As sad as it is for Lisa, she may unintentionally get the last laugh once she reveals the whole truth of what she's been hiding from Daniel. As we first learned when this 90-Day Fiancé spin-off kicked off on the 2026 TV schedule, Lisa has exclusively been with women in the past 2 decades and is still currently married to another woman. I have to wonder how Daniel's attitude toward Lisa may change when he learns that his path to the United States will be more difficult than her applying for the K-1 visa. Will he be understanding and patient, or perhaps decide it may be best to cut his losses and find another woman from the US who doesn't need a divorce before even beginning another marriage process? Typically, I don't like when 90-Day Fiancé paints the narrative around a foreigner that they're mainly in the relationship so they can come to the United States. In this case, I'm okay with it, only because Daniel is pretty brazen about the reasons he's with Lisa. I feel like I'm watching an elongated version of Debbie and Usama's storyline from The Other Way Season 4, which fortunately ended with her senses. HBO Max. Plans start from $10.99 a month. HBO Max is the streaming home to the world of DC Comics and plenty of other great franchises like 90-Day Fiancé. Plans start at $10.99 a month, basic with ads. An HBO Max subscription gives you access to thousands of movies, shows, documentaries, and more. 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days continues on TLC on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This season may be bumming me out on multiple levels, but it is very entertaining. I'm hoping for a happy ending for Lisa, no matter how things shake out with Daniel. What unfolds next in 90-Day Fiancé? Before the 90 Days Season 8 is not loud, explosive drama, but something quieter and in many ways more unsettling. Lisa's storyline with Daniel moves deeper into emotional territory that feels uncomfortably real, exposing power imbalances, unmet expectations, and a kind of loneliness that no engagement ring can fix. Lisa's time in Nigeria begins to feel less like a romantic journey and more like a slow emotional reckoning. From the outside, she has achieved what many cast members on the franchise chase for years. She has been welcomed with celebration, introduced to family, and given a public proposal. The visuals suggest success. Yet beneath that surface, Lisa appears increasingly unsure of where she stands in Daniel's heart and whether love, as she understands it, is actually present at all. The wig incident becomes a turning point not because of the wig itself, but because of what it represents. Lisa removing it is a moment of vulnerability. It is her choosing to be seen as she is, without adornment, without the layers she may feel she needs to stay desirable. Daniel's reaction, telling her she looks old and insisting she put it back on, lands with more weight than he likely realizes. Confirms a fear Lisa has carried with her long before arriving in Nigeria, that her age, her appearance, and her authenticity might never fully be enough. This moment lingers because it is not followed by reassurance. There is no softening, no attempt to repair the hurt. Lisa complies, puts the wig back on, and moves forward, but something clearly fractures. It is the kind of small moment that often signals larger issues in relationships, especially those already shaped by cultural differences and unequal expectations. Seeking clarity, Lisa turns to Daniel's friends, hoping they might offer reassurance that he truly loves her. Instead, she receives a response that feels transactional rather than emotional. The suggestion that Daniel would not jeopardize his situation because Lisa provides financial support is delivered casually, almost as common sense. For Lisa, it lands like confirmation of her worst fear. What she wants is simple. She wants to hear that she is chosen, desired, and valued beyond what she can offer materially. What she hears instead is that her role is useful. The distinction is devastating. This is where Lisa's storyline becomes particularly difficult to watch. She does not lash out. She does not storm away. She absorbs the information quietly, almost resigned. Her sadness feels internalized, as though she has already accepted that this might be the best she can hope for. That emotional posture makes it hard for viewers not to empathize with her, even when they may question her choices. At the same time, the power dynamic between Lisa and Daniel grows clearer. Daniel is younger, charismatic, and fully aware of the advantages this relationship offers him. His confidence in brushing off concerns, combined with his blunt comments about Lisa's appearance, suggests a comfort level that borders on entitlement. He appears secure in the belief that Lisa will stay no matter how uncertain she feels. What complicates the situation further is the truth Lisa has not yet shared with Daniel. Her past, including her long-term relationships with women and her current marriage, adds layers of complexity that have yet to surface fully. When this information comes to light, it has the potential to reshape everything. The reality is that Lisa's path forward with Daniel is far more complicated than he likely understands. The immigration process will not be straightforward, and the emotional implications of her history may challenge his expectations in ways he is not prepared for. Whether Daniel will respond with patience or retreat in search of an easier option remains an open question. This looming revelation also reframes earlier moments. Lisa's insecurity may not stem solely from Daniel's behavior, but from the knowledge that she is withholding something significant. That internal conflict, combined with the external doubts planted by Daniel's words and actions, creates a perfect storm of emotional vulnerability. The franchise has often been criticized for portraying international partners as opportunistic, motivated primarily by the desire to move to the United States. In many cases, that framing feels reductive and unfair. Here, however, Daniel's own comments and the attitudes of those around him make it difficult to ignore the transactional undertones of the relationship. His confidence appears rooted less in mutual affection and more in the stability Lisa provides. This storyline inevitably invites comparison to past couples where age gaps and mismatched intentions led to painful outcomes. Parallels to other seasons are hard to miss, particularly where one partner clings to hope while the other maintains emotional distance. In those cases, clarity often arrives late, after significant emotional damage has already been done. Lisa's situation feels especially heavy because she seems to sense what is happening but cannot bring herself to act on that awareness. She is standing at the intersection of hope and reality, unwilling to fully let go of either. Her desire for love is genuine, and that sincerity makes her vulnerability more pronounced. What remains to be seen is whether Lisa will find the strength to prioritize her own emotional well-being. Her story could still turn toward empowerment if she chooses honesty and self-respect over fear of being alone. Alternatively, it could continue down a path where compromise slowly erodes her sense of self. Daniel's response to the truth when it comes will be telling. If his commitment is rooted in love, he will face the complications with patience and empathy. If it is rooted in convenience, the cracks will widen quickly. Season 8 as a whole may feel heavy, but Lisa and Daniel's storyline captures something deeply human. It shows how loneliness, hope, and fear can intertwine, leading people to accept less than they deserve. It also highlights how love, when mixed with imbalance, can begin to feel conditional rather than supportive. As the season continues, viewers are left hoping not for dramatic confrontations, but for moments of clarity. Lisa deserves answers, honesty, and dignity, whether that leads her toward Daniel or away from him. However things unfold, her journey serves as a reminder that love should not require shrinking oneself to fit another person's expectations. The episodes ahead will determine whether this relationship can evolve into something healthier, or whether it will stand as another cautionary tale within the franchise. Either way, Lisa's story has already left a lasting impression, not because of spectacle but because of its quiet, persistent sadness and the very real questions it raises about love, worth, and self-respect.